Hello, West Hartford Cooperative Parish. Pastor Mark here with an important announcement for this coming Sunday, November 22nd. As I'm sure you're aware, the numbers for the pandemic in our county have not been getting better and, in fact, have been getting worse. After speaking with members and leaders from across our parish earlier this week, Pastor Jane and I feel that the best decision to make right now is to put a pause on gathering indoors for worship. Now, what that's going to mean for each congregation will be a little bit different. We are planning to have worship at each congregation at its regular time, so please look for an email later this week with details about how your home congregation is planning to gather this Sunday. I want to say a couple words about what we're going through right now. This is a difficult time for many of us, and this is, depending on how you count, the third or fourth major change we've had to make in response to the pandemic since March. I appreciate that this is not an easy thing to do. One change is hard enough by itself in a year. This many in a year really adds up. And I want to say thank you to everyone who has been so patient and loving toward me and Pastor Jane and those who are making decisions in our parish. You all have been very gracious, and we deeply appreciate that. And I want to encourage you also to be kind and especially loving to one another in this season of change. We will all adapt to this change differently. We will all react to it differently. So let's give each other room to process and to react, and let us love one another as Christ has loved us, even in this moment of change. This Sunday is typically called Christ our King Sunday, or the Reign of Christ Sunday. And I think that's an important reminder for us. Although things seem difficult and bleak, Christ is our King, and not just ours. Christ reigns over all creation. And it may be difficult to see how or understand exactly why things are going on and how we can say Christ is still King, but it is true. It is true that Christ is our King. Christ reigns even here, especially here, in the midst of this chaotic season. So I want to encourage you to remember that Christ is walking with us in this. Christ is present with us. But also Christ has not lost control of the situation. God in Christ still reigns. And that is something to celebrate and be thankful for, no matter our circumstances. I hope I will see many of you even this Sunday in some format or another. And I promise you that Pastor Jane and I and everyone involved in making decisions for each congregation and for the parish as a whole will be doing all we can to keep each other connected to each other and to God in our corporate worship, in our personal devotion, in the season of change, in this upcoming season of Advent, and in Christmas that waits for us on the other side of Advent. Blessings on the rest of your week.